Hare Krishna. Welcome to third chapter of fifth canto. Rsabhadeva's appearance in the womb of Meru Devi, wife of King Nabhi. The Lord appears before the King Nabhi. In the third chapter, the Lord means Lord Vishnu, satisfied with Nabhi's performance of sacrifice, personally became his son as desired by King Nabhi. On hearing his request to have a son like the Lord. So yesterday we saw that Agnidra, after marrying Purvachitti, gave birth to 9 sons. Of the 9, the eldest one is Nabhi. And he divided the Jambudvipa into 9 divisions and gave them to his 9 sons. And they are named after the names of the sons. And this is also one small chapter, about 20 verses are there. The important section is the prayers offered by the priests from 4 to 15. We will discuss about these prayers a little bit elaborately. So now, Sri Sukha Uvacha. Nabir apatya kamo aprajaya Meru Devya Bhagavantam Yajna Purusham Avahita Avaitatmya Yajata. Please read the translation.
Rsabhadeva Goswami continued to speak. Maharaja Nabhi, the son of Agnidra, wished to have sons, and therefore he attentively began to offer prayers and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the master and enjoyer of all sacrifices. Maharaja Nabhi's wife, Meru Devi, who had not given birth to any children at that time, also worshipped Lord Vishnu along with her husband.
Last chapter, we saw that our Agnidra, Apatya Kama, Paja Kama, with a desire to have children, he went to forest and began to worship Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma himself sent a girl as a wife to him. In this chapter, his son Nabhi is worshipping Lord Vishnu for a wife. In the third canto, Kardama Muni, he also worshipped Lord Vishnu in order to have a wife so that they will have children. Then who else did like that? The 10 Prajatas went to forest to perform austerities to please the Lord so that they will be able to do the household duties properly. This is the theme of Bhagavatam. Before getting married, one should perform. They also performed austerities. In the first Prishni Suttapa, they performed austerities for one Chaturyuga time period, not small time. 12,000 Devata years they performed austerities. When complete Divya Yoga, they performed austerities. Not one day, 2 days. So it's like that. Nabhi, son of King Agnidra, desiring sons, worshipped the Supreme Lord with great attention, along with his wife Meru Devi, who had not produced any sons till then. They were married together. Time passed. In due course of time, they wanted to have children. So with the suggestion of the Brahmanas, they are worshipping Lord Vishnu. Nabhi, the first son of King Agnidra. So what happened as a result of that worship? Please.
In the performance of the sacrifice, there are 7 transcendental means to obtain the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. First, by sacrificing valuable things or eatables. Second, by acting in terms of place. Third, by acting in terms of time. Fourth, by offering hymns. Fifth, by going through the priest. Sixth, by offering gifts to the priests. And seventh, by observing the regulative principles. However, one cannot always obtain the Supreme Lord through this paraphernalia. Nonetheless, the Lord is affectionate to his devotee. Therefore, when Maharaj Nabhi, who was a devotee, worshipped and offered prayers to the Lord with great faith and devotion, and with a pure, uncontaminated mind, superficially performing some yajna in the line of a pravargya, the kind of Supreme Personality of Godhead, due to his affection for his devotees, appeared before King Nabhi in his unconquerable and captivating form with 4 heads. In this way, to fulfill the desire of his devotee, The Supreme Personality of Godhead manifested himself in his beautiful body before his devotee. This body pleases the mind and eyes of the devotees.
Lord made his appearance immediately, being pleased with his devotees' worship. Udara sarva evaite. Jnani tu atmavemmatam. Akama sarvakamuva. Then? So, with the desire or without desire, whatever it is, one should worship Supreme Lord. Same thing, Bodhita Lord says that Artho Jignashur Artharthi Jnanisha Bhartarshaba. Udara Sarva Evaite. One may come to me because of any other reason, but they are all magnanimous. Here, our Nabhi is also one such magnanimous soul. The worshipping Lord Vishnu to have a son. Because as a king, so one of the important duty of the king is to continue the legacy. Give birth to a bona fide religious Rajarshi in the next generation. That is the principal duty of prime duty of the king. He himself should rule like that. He also should continue the legacy by producing a bona fide son. So it's like that. While King Nabhi was performing prescribed duties out of great affection for his devotee, in order to fulfill the desires of his devotee. So here this thing. While King Nabhi was performing prescribed duties out of great affection for his devotee. Who is the devotee? The Brahmanas, who are conducting the sacrifice, who are helping in worship. In order to fulfill the desire of his devotee, of course, he was worship prescribed duties out of a great affection for his devotee, the Supreme Lord for his devotee, that King Nabhi. In order to fulfill the desire of King Nabhi, who is his devotee, the Lord with beautiful form, who is hard to attain, but attracted to his devotee, showed King Nabhi his attractive, pleasing form, which cannot be brought under control, whose limbs have bliss to the mind and eyes of Nabhi. So, the Lord generally does not come in front of ordinary people. But since Nabhi performed bhakti with a selfless heart, so Lord was so happy, he immediately showed himself to Nabhi. So that was the greatness of Nabhi. He is a wonderful devotee. He showed himself because of Nabhi's performance of Bhakti Yoga, along with proper ingredients, place, time, mantras, priests, charity, and rules. Dravya, Desha, Kala, Mantra, Ritvig, Dakshina, and Vidana. The 7 points Prabhupada mentions, these are all. When yajna is performed, these things should be considered into proper order. All dravya, pure dravya should be used. Not hybrid dravya, not contaminated dravya, not pesticide dravya. Organic dravya should be used. And a place, sacrifice cannot be performed in ordinary place. Proper place should be selected, which is generally on the bank of a river or at the foothill of a mountain, something like that. That's why in the Mahabharata Ramayana, if you see, all the yajnas are performed either on the bank of a river or at the foothill of a mountain. One cannot do here and there. And that is how all the holy places are also located on the banks of river or on the banks of or on the foothills of mountains. Sometimes in the top of mountain also. Because these are the auspicious places. Yes or no?
Yes.
Is there any place which is not on the bank of river, on the bank of on the next to the mountain? Any holy place is there? Think of any holy place.
It is not.
Either next to the ocean, or next to the water body, or next to a mountain, or hillock. Is there any holy place? Other than ISKCON temples, which are in the prime city.
They are like the portable tap system.
Either like that, which we follow.
Bringing the waters of the rivers to accessible places.
No, ISKCON is a preaching movement. That's why it will be there where density of population is more, so that preaching can be done. So these are makeshift temples for preaching purpose. But anyway, any traditional temples? Any temple? Tirupati. Where it is located? Mountain. Srishalam or Nasik. Nasik. Bank river na Godavari river के बाजू में. Kaveri river is there, Baba. कभी गया नहीं क्या? Srirangapatnam, Madiranga, Madiranga, Antaranga, all are on the bank of Kaveri only. It is actually island. Srirangam is island. Kaveri comes like this and goes like this again. Lines in between Srirangam is there. It is an island. What is this? What's happening? February. No, VTA people are on there. Or Prabhuji. Rasikacharya going on. No yatra. He is the right of the class तो होने दो. यात्रा बाद में देखेंगे.
2 days यात्रा तो मैंने
किधर 2 days नहीं होगा. सुखदेव गोस्वामी will tell that even if you have a whole lifetime of Brahma, you cannot go and see all the places.
They will have good time to cover everything.
Oh.
That will be an experiential thing.
घूमने का नहीं है अभी. Already I'm बहुत travel हो रहा है. I'm traveling next week. इधर जाने का नहीं. So like that, any whole place if you take India, there are either a bank of river or on the bank of and next to a mountain. So place should be important. Time, sacrifice cannot be performed ordinary days. Proper tithi should be selected. Proper month, proper tithi, especially in Shukla Paksha and the odd tithis. Even tithis are not good for conducting any auspicious ceremony. So like that. Mantra, proper mantra should be chanted according to the occasion. The priest, bona fide priest should be there. After everything is over, priest should be given charity, not the salary. Should be given charity. But nowadays everything is happening by prayer bath. And rules. There are so many rules to be followed. Purificate rituals and all, everything should be followed. Otherwise, it is of no use. As good as not done. These are all subject to be considered in the performance of yajna. The Lord with beautiful limbs revealed himself by the execution of bhakti, along with the 7 purificatory ingredients, while Nabhi performed prescribed duties necessary for material enjoyment. Pravaragya pracharasto. Since his heart was attracted to his devotee, since Lord's heart was attracted to his devotee, the Lord revealed his pleasing form with the limbs, giving bliss to the mind and eye, such as his lotus face, though he is not controlled by others. Generally, Lord does not come under the control of anyone and everyone. But sometimes when he sees the pure heart of his pure devotees, he easily comes under the control of such devotees. Here, Nabhi is one such a devotee. So Lord showed himself to him. So like that. Previously, Lord showed to Kardamuni, Lord showed to Dhruva also, Lord showed to Prutu also, Lord showed to Prajatas also. Now we show him to Nabhi. Read.
Now Vishnu appeared before King Nabhi with 4 arms. He was very bright and he appeared to be the best of all personalities. Around the lower portion of his body, he wore a yellow silken garment. On his chest was a mark of Srivaksa, which always displays beauty. He carried a conch shell, lotus flower, this, and a plum. And he wore a garland of forest flowers and the Kaustuba gem. He was beautifully decorated with a helmet, earrings, bangles, belt, pearl necklace, armlets, ankle belts, and other bodily ornaments, bedecked with radiant jewels. Seeing the Lord present before them, Nabhi and his priests and associates felt just like poor people who have suddenly attained great riches. They received the Lord and respectfully bent their heads and offered him things in worship.
Joy of the priests and Nabhi is expressed here. The priests, the assembly, and the king Nabhi, like poor persons who have obtained the greatest pleasure, their greatest treasure, began worshipping with great reverence by offering suitable ingredients, that brilliant supreme personality of Godhead, with 4 arms. Now the Lord's description. He had 4 arms, wearing yellow cloth, Pitambara, marked with shining Srivastha on his chest, Srivastangitam. The Shanka Chakra Gada Padma are there in 4 hands, wearing a garland. What kind of garland? Vanamala, and a Kaustuba jewel, and ornamented with a most radiant crown, Kiritamali, earrings, Makarkundala, bracelets, belt, necklace, armbands here, and ankle belts. Nupur. Hara Keyura Nupuradi. So, like, this is a beautiful description of a Lord's beautiful form. And everyone felt that just like a poor man when he gets treasury, how does he feel happy? Same thing they are also. It is very rare to have darshan of Lord Vishnu, but now they had. So it's like a lifetime achievement. The Lord was brilliant. He was special among Purushas, the supreme person, Purusha Vishesham. Mention of his cloth also indicates his dark complexion. He was wearing yellow cloth means he is in Shama, Shama Vadata. He is in cloud-like, newly monsoon cloud-like appearance. This is explained in Laghu Bhavatamrita 15240 in relation to the phrase Pitam Shukam Vakshasi Lakshitam Shriya. This is from 2915. The darshan which was given to Lord Brahma. Before Chatushloki Bhagavatam, Brahma had darshan of Lord Vishnu. There the description of Lord is like this. Pitam Shukam, he was wearing Pitambar. Vakshasi, on the chest. Lakshitam Shriya, there is a marks of Shriya. Srivasta marks. Daravara is the conch and Vanaruha is the lotus. So in one hand he was holding Daravara, conch, Shanka. In one hand he was holding a lotus, which is called Vanaruha. Akuri is the chakra and Amruta Mani is the Kaustuba jewel. Amruta Mani. These are different Sanskrit words used to indicate all these different things.
Already there is mention of his cloth also indicates his dark complexion. What was that actually?
Because generally the blue lord always wears yellow garments. It is a default combination. So in that way, when you either you talk about one, the other is indicated default. So like that. Yeah, Ritvija Oshu 4 to 15 verses. The Brahmanas are offering prayers on behalf of the king. So please read.
The priests began to offer prayers to the Lord, saying, O most worshipable one, we are simply your servants. Although you are full in yourself, please, out of your causeless mercy, accept a little service from us, your eternal servants. We are not actually aware of your transcendental form, but we can simply offer our respectful obeisances again and again, as instructed by Vedic literatures and authorized acharyas. Materialistic living entities are very much attracted to the modes of material nature, and therefore they are never perfect. But you are above the jurisdiction of all material conceptions. Your name, form, and qualities are all transcendental and beyond the conception of experimental knowledge. Indeed, who can conceive of you? In the material world, we can perceive only material names and qualities. We have no other power than to offer our respectful obeisances and prayers unto you, the transcendental person. The chanting of your auspicious transcendental qualities will wipe out the sins of all mankind. That is the most auspicious activity for us, and we can thus partially understand your supernatural position.
Big translations. The priest said, Arhat Tama, O most exalted Lord. Like that, anywhere the discussion came, some Arhat Tama, Tama, Ittama, Uttama. Kuch yaad hai? Canto 4. There was some discussion, some explanation in connection to Lord Shiva and Daksha.
Yeah,
What was that?
8 kinds of
Personalities.
Yeah.
So what are their names?
yeah.
Who are those 8 wonderful souls? Where am I? Where are you? हाँ बताओ. हाँ हाँ तमा दमा शांति आर्जवम. Uttama,
Mm.
Ati Uttama, Mahattama, Ati Mahattara. Something like that. It came.
Second canto.
Fourth canto, Lord Shiva and Mother Sati was speaking to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva respond. Fourth canto, third chapter. उसमें आते हैं. Ati Mahattara, Ati Mahattama. So like that, all 8 category of versions come. It's okay, it's okay. But later on you can you should these words should be there in the tongue always. It's okay. So the 8 category people. Uttama, something like that. Ati Mahattama, Ati Mahattara, something like that is there. The Nisha in the same way, opposite also is there. Daksha is the lowest of all, Shiva is the highest of all, like that comparison is there. So some examples are also quoted. O most exalted Lord, since we are your followers, Anupatanam, you should accept our offering of repeated respects. Please accept our humble obeisances repeatedly. Following the instructions of great devotee. So, following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, previous devotees, we are offering our obeisance unto your lotus feet because you are the most worthy of respect. The incapable man whose mind is affected by the gunas of Prakriti cannot describe the form of the Supreme Lord. They are telling that, indirectly they are telling that a person who is affected by gunas of Prakriti cannot describe your transcendental glories. Who is beyond both Prakriti and Purusha. The Lord is beyond Prakriti and Purusha. We are below Prakriti. So how can we glorify you who is beyond Prakriti? By limited names, by limited colors, and by limited forms. Except by describing a portion of your auspicious qualities, which even they destroy the sins of all people. Just see. So Jiva is under the control of gunas of Prakriti. The Supreme Lord is beyond both Prakriti and Purusha. The Jivas only have the knowledge of limited names, limited colors, limited forms. With which, how can they glorify the unlimited form, unlimited colors, and unlimited names of the Supreme Lord? But still they can glorify in a limited way. Even that is enough to purify them. Even the limited glorification of the unlimited Lord can purify us from the influence of the gunas of Prakriti. So in order to get purified ourselves from the influence of the three modes of material nature, we want to glorify you according to whatever is possible for us. So like that, they are beginning to glorify. Prahlad Maharaj also says same thing. When Brahma and all these great devatas are not able to glorify, what qualification do you have to glorify you? But still it is instruction of Lord Brahma. I'll try to speak some broken words. Please tolerate. So like that.
Beyond Prakriti and Purusha. Purusha, who is that Purusha?
Pataiye, who is the Purusha? Who is beyond both Prakriti and Purusha? Prakriti Purushayo Parasya. कौन है पुरुषा? Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala. Prakriti is Prakriti. When say the Purusha, the word comes, sometimes Purusha indicates Jiva, sometimes Purusha indicates Kala also. So currently we can take Ishvara is superior to both Prakriti and Purusha. Within the bracket, after Purusha within the bracket, Kala and Jiva. Kala Tattva and Jiva Tattva. So it's like that. Purusha, all the Jivas are also Purushas, and Kala is also Purusha only. Mahakala Purusha. Another name of Kala is Mahakala Purusha. So he can also be taken as. Generally we say, na, Prakriti Purusha are always together. Prakriti is Durga Devi. Purusha is Sadashiva. They are always together. So Purusha generally stands for Sadashiva. Mahakala Purusha. Prakriti is Prakriti. And from there coming together comes all the Jivatattvas, Jiva Shaktis will get material bodies in the unlimited number of variety universes. So like that. The praises in prose continues till verse 16. Though you are complete, you should accept our offerings, since we are following the path of Bhakti Yoga. Anupatanam, following the footsteps of your great devotees. Though we do not request to attain you directly, since we have material desires to fulfill, we have a trace of bhakti. We cannot say that we are Anna Bhaktas. We still have so many material desires. But still, in spite of that, because you have told us, Akama, Sarakamo, Mokshakamo Dadi, still we are performing worship. So please accept as a kind of devotees, not pure devotees. Therefore, out of affection, accept our offerings. We are following your path. This much we have and not more. Thus, we repeatedly offer you respects. We don't have huge qualification to say that we deserve your darshan. Not that. We are trying to be devotees in spite of having so many desires, but still you are affectionate to devotees. You made your appearance. So therefore, please accept our humble obeisances. That much only we can give. We cannot give anything more. This has been taught by the devotees to us. The devotees told us this only. So we are doing the same. Whatever we learned from our senior devotees. We do not know the methods of worship and glorification. But you are my learned devotees. You know everything. Why do you hesitate to praise me? Lord says that, how can you say that you are all devotees, great scholars? You can glorify me. Why do you say you don't know anything? They reply, in the material world, there are praises making comparison between your face and the moon. Moon-like face. Lord's face is as beautiful as the moon. That much only we can glorify. More than that, we can't do. But who can describe your form by using material words, mentioning colors like the sapphire and forms which are blackish, etc. etc. We say that Neela Megashama. Lord's complexion is like the newly formed monsoon clouds. But is it like that? But we only have this much only. We can't go beyond that. What then to speak of actually making words of praise from these material components? It is of very low category kind of glorification. You are beyond Prakriti and Purusha. We cannot produce or factually describe a form which is beyond Prakriti and Purusha out of material sapphire and other material objects. We cannot properly describe your beauty by comparing you with the moon or by comparing you with the lotus. Or we cannot properly describe your complexion by comparing it with a blue lotus or newly monsoon clouds. So like that. We have the limitation of words and objects to glorify you properly. Then Lord says that, then you can describe my form by using spiritual objects. Abhi material objects say you can't describe me, then describe spiritual objects. They say that we don't know spiritual objects, what we can describe. Our minds are absorbed in the world made of gunas. We only know everything within the gunas only. We don't know anything beyond gunas. It is impossible for the intelligence of the jiva in the material world to comprehend spiritual subjects. Therefore, one should only glorify you partially for your qualities such as affection for your devotees. We can glorify Lord's wonderful qualities, Lord's affection towards his devotees, that much only. Because the Lord is affectionate to his devotees, he destroys all their sins, even by partial glorification. Even that partial glorification of the Lord using the material objects, material words, enough to purify our existence. So like that. Because right now we don't have any experience of the spiritual objects. So we can't use them to glorify you. So like that, at the very beginning they state like this. Since we are following the footsteps of your devotees, please accept us also your devotees and accept our obeisances, accept our words of praise, etc. etc. Though they may not be able to describe you adequately. So like that they are saying. Then they say that, oh Lord, you are satisfied by worship using prayers uttered with choked voice, composed by your devotees with attachment. My dear Lord, you are actually very easily satisfied by whatever little service done by your devotees. And we are making an attempt of bringing some words together and trying to glorify you. So that too with choked voice, not with the proper voice. Gadgadaya, Vacha Gadgadaya, with choked voice. So like that. And using water, tulsi birds, durva grass, and birds. So while glorifying the Lord, in worshipping the Lord, they are using water, Shalila, and they are using tulsi birds, Sita, Kishalaya, Tulasika, durva grass, and birds, flower birds. So while glorifying, others are offering the flowers, durva grass, tulsi birds, and water, etc. etc. In worshipping the Lord. So like that. This is what they are doing. Oh Lord, you are satisfied by worship using water, branches of tulsi, sprouts of durva grass, and prayers offered with choked voice produced out of attachment by your devotees. Devotees use all these different variety of ingredients in the worship of the Supreme Lord and also prayers, holy name, bhajans, singing, etc. So make sure that if at all you are worshipping the Lord, all these things will be there. Some water and durva grass, tulasi leaves and tulasi birds, tulasi manjaris, and sprouts, etc. etc. Then they say, we see that you do not have any use for our elaborate worship. My dear Lord, you don't require huge and elaborate arrangements for worship. You are very easily satisfied by these small things. That's why we are only using these small things only in worshipping you. Lord को सेवा करने के लिए elaborate arrangement जरूरत नहीं. We do not have devotion. How then can you be satisfied? We see that you have no use for the worship of with many parts. You are satisfied with small things also. What was the verse in Bhagavad Gita indicate this? Lord is satisfied with simple things. और बाद में क्या? हाँ पूरा बता दो ना, बता दे तो. प्रेतात्मना. हाँ इसमें चार एक है. तोयम इज देयर, पत्रम इज देयर, ओके, पुष्पम इज देयर, फलम. दुर्वा ग्रासम इज देयर. फलम कहाँ है? फलम है ही नहीं इधर. उसमें फलम है बट जस्ट टाइम टू कंपेयर. फलम है ना बट फलम भी ऐड करना पड़ेगा थोड़ा सा. बस इतना ही ऑफर करने का. नहीं वो फलम नहीं. फलम में लिटिल फलम. वो तो प्रेयर से बाबा. प्रेयर से. हाँ. So Lord only eats these things. Patram pushpam palam toyam. But devotees eat pizza, pasta, burger, sandwich. और क्या? बहुत सारा खाते हैं. हाँ और हाँ बाद में सेवास्थान एडमिट होंगे. हाँ that is also offered with devotion, no? In reciprocation.
That is the pious reaction.
हाँ pious reaction. No problem. Harayana fifth festival is there. Get ready. Sankirtan festival. Oh Lord, He Nata He Narayana Vasudeva. Correct only. Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari. He Nata He Narayana Vasudeva. Oh Lord, you who directly have a form composed of unlimited human goals. Anjasa Ashesha Purushartha Swarupasya. Lord's form is the form of embodiment of all Purusharthas. including Panchapurushata. The highest bliss, Sachidananda Swarupa, Anandamayo Abhyasat, a form which continues without break at all times. Avyatiriktena anu savanam. Okay, what is that? Avyayam, eternal, should satisfy us who have desires for benedictions. So, my dear Lord, you are satisfied by simple things. Few words, little water, tulsi birds, durva grass, and some flowers, fruits. You are easily satisfied. And we have satisfied you by the worship, by the prayers. Similarly, may you also satisfy us. Because we are worshipping you with a desire. We have some desire to fulfill. So please fulfill our desire. So, like that. Etad ashisha asa sasanam. So,
A form which continues without a break at all times. Is it reflecting to the Brahman feature or the
no. All features, Brahman, Paramatma, 3 are eternal existing.
But what does it mean? It's continuous without a break at all times?
See, they are simply comparing, Baba. Our forms are temporary. Your form is eternal. So our form is temporary. We have many desires. Your form is eternal. It can fulfill all the desires. Please fulfill our chota mota desire hai. Thoda sa daya karo. So like that. Just comparison. This verse gives the reason. By yourself, at every moment, directly, you possess a form composed of unlimited results, producing bliss, which exists without break. Matlab, Lord's form is eternal. The form of the conditioned soul in the material world is temporary. So like that. Though this is so, our worship should not be useless. It should be satisfying for us with desired benedictions. We are not doing it for you. They are telling that, my dear Lord, we are not Anna Bhaktas. Don't think that we are doing it everything without apeksha ke bina nahi kar rahe hum. Apeksha ke साथ कर रहे हैं. बाबूजी तक कौन सा वर्स apeksha के बिना करना है करके? हाँ, कौन सा वर्स? वर्स बताओ, नंबर नहीं. हाँ हाँ, लाउड लग रहे हैं. कर्मण्ये वादिकारस्य मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भो माते संगो स्वकर्मणि. So in that ma karmafala heturbur. You told one should perform bhakti ma karmafala heturbur. But we are not that level, that highest level. We have a desire for phala, that's why we are doing it. Please fulfill our desire. So they are directly telling, Bhagavan, please daya karo. हमारा इच्छा पूरा करो, हमारा मांगे पूरा करो. So like that. हाँ, बोलना पड़ता है ना, जो चाहिए तो मांगना पड़ता है. अभी बच्चों को कुछ चाहिए तो पिताजी से पूछना पड़ता है. पूछ के बिना कैसे दे देंगे? कभी कभी देते पूछने के बिना, बट जब चाहिए तो पूछना पड़ेगा ना. पूछेगा तो अच्छा है, कुछ डाउट नहीं. मन में कुछ इच्छा रखे हुए, कोई इच्छा नहीं बोलेगा तो क्या फायदा? ये आप लोग प्रशांत सर्विंग करते समय उनको इच्छा है कुछ खाने के लिए, अभी वो लोग बोलेंगे तो ना, नहीं चाहिए, आप लोग सर्विंग करेंगे क्या? फिर भी कभी कभी क्वेश्चन करेंगे, कभी कभी ना बोलते हुए बोलेंगे अच्छा है, दिस इज टुडे स्पेशल, प्लीज हैव सम मोर. यू मे सर्व समटाइम्स बट नॉट एवरी टाइम. तो इच्छा है तो पूछना पड़ेगा, मिल जाएगा. कुछ गलती नहीं उसमें, गलती है क्या? Therefore, just as a wise person appears before ignorant people, you, the person superior to all great persons, you are greatest of all the wise people, out of your causeless mercy, to give liberation in the form of realization of your glories. You generally appear to give liberation by revealing your transcendental glories. Okay? And all other benedictions as well have appeared here, though not worshipped properly by us. Generally, people worship you for the sake of liberation, and you appear and give them liberation. But we have not worshipped you for liberation. We have worshipped you for fulfilling some desires. But still you appeared in front of us. That is your glory. You have appeared like a person curious to see the sacrifice. You have come here as if just to see what these people are doing, trying to do something. They don't know how to do, but still they are trying to do something. Just to see our curiosity, you come here and made your appearance and give your darshan. Since you have given your darshan will not go in vain. Please, ये थोड़ा सा इच्छा पूरा करके जाइए वापस. So like that. That's it. Then why have I been satisfied and made my appearance before you? Lord asks. For which they say that just as a person in knowledge appears before those who are ignorant, though he has not been called or worshipped, in order to deliver them by his mercy. You also, superior to all great persons out of great causeless mercy, to give liberation in the form of realization of your glories, and as well, all desired objects have appeared here, not from being worshipped by us, since we do not have bhakti. Even when some ignorant people are discussing something by personal knowledge, he will come and wait. He will listen, and they will say that hey, it is not like that. It is like this, like this. He clarifies all their doubts and moves ahead. They are delivered from their doubts, something like that. Lord Vishnu also like that. Generally, you make your appearance to deliver people. But in our case, we are not performing this worship for deliverance. We have a desire to fulfill that we are doing. But still you made appearance. Anyway, you come here, please fulfill our desire. So like that. You have appeared here like someone who has come out of curiosity to see the sacrifice. Out of curiosity, you came here like these ignorant people who don't know how to do sacrifice. Still they are making an endeavor. Let me see how they are doing. Like that you came here. That is the Then they further say that, O most worshipful Lord, that you, the best giver of benedictions, Bhavan Varadarshaba, koi Kanchipuram hai kya? What is the name of the Lord? Varadaraj. Appeared as an object of our vision in the king's sacrifice was our benediction. What is their benediction? What they want? O most worshipful Lord, that you, the best giver of benedictions, appeared as the object of our vision in the king's sacrifice was our benediction. Our benediction is our desire is to have a darshan of you, and by giving you a darshan, you already blessed us. So, स्वामिनी कृतार्थोस्मि वरमयाचे कैसे चालू होता है? स्थानाभिलाषी तपतो सितोहम त्वां प्राप्तवान देव मुनिंद्र गुह्यम. I have come to the forest to perform austerities with the desire to get a abode superior to that of Brahma. But I have obtained you, who is very difficult to be obtained by Deva Munindra Guhyam, by the Devatas and Munindras also. Kachan Vichinvan Apidivya Ratnam. I was looking for broken piece of glasses, but I got Divya Ratna. Swamini Kurtarthosmi. I am completely satisfied. Paramna Yache. No more blessings required for me.
This shloka is not in the Bhagavatam.
No, it is not from Bhagavatam. This is from Brod Naradiya Purana or something like that.
ये भागवत में क्यों नहीं है? इसे ऑफर किया है
ध्रुव महाराज का प्रेयर्स में भी बाकी 3-4 प्रेयर्स में से एक बार निकालेगा तो यही आएगा, यही थीम आएगा उसमें भी. एक वर्स इज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड इनटू 3-4 वर्सेस, सेम थीम is there. In any case, ask for a benediction. Oh, my dear Brahmanas, whatever it is, I have appeared, whatever you may say, but please ask for a benediction. Most worshipful Lord, you have become the object of vision for your devotees when you appeared in the sacrifice performed by the king. That itself is the greatest benediction. For us, we don't have any other benedictions. For us, we are satisfied by having your darshan. Thank you very much. But our king has a desire. Kindly fulfill his desire. On the king's behalf, we are asking you. Since you are already ready to benedict us, please fulfill the desire of our king, who is sponsoring the sacrifice on our behalf. O Lord, whose qualities are recited repeatedly by the great sages, your qualities which bring about the highest bliss are the subject of discussion for the sages who have burned by all contamination, by the fire of knowledge and detachment, jnana and vairagya, and who find enjoyment in you through their individual moods of love directed to you. We, the Brahmanas, having heard about you, having read about you, having studied about you, having contemplated about your wonderful qualities, after burning all the contamination, we are simply experiencing the joy by hearing about you and discussing about you. We don't want anything more than that. We just want to hear about you and glorify you and serve you in a particular mode. That itself gives us the highest joy. What else we want? हमको कुछ extra नहीं चाहिए, इतना ही काफी है. So like that way. Foolish persons think that they should pray for things other than seeing you, though seeing you is very rare. Only less intelligent, ignorant people only ask for some material benedictions rather than asking for your darshan. Of course, here darshan is small time only, but one should have a desire to have Lord darshan for continuously, perpetually. That means indirectly one should desire to go back to our head so that they will have darshan of the Lord perpetually. That should be the desire. But foolish people ask for some material desires. But the wise do not think like this. Though you do not show yourself, you are the subject of talks concerning your qualities, which bring about the highest auspiciousness for the sages. We have burned up unlimited contamination of material desires by the fire of knowledge, sharpened by detachment, who completely enjoy you with moods such as dasya direct towards you. After hearing about your wonderful qualities and activities, devotees develop a desire to serve you in that mode. That itself will give a lot of joy to those devotees, to such devotees. So like that. O Lord, whose qualities are recited repeatedly by the great sages. So what else we want? We just want to hear and hear and hear about them. That's something more than that. Then they further continue. May we somehow or other chant your names, describing your qualities. Please help us to always remember your holy names so that we will continue to chant your holy names, describing your wonderful qualities. Kindly tell some of the names of the Lord, indicating Lord's qualities. Okay, that is not Lord's quality nonsense. Still, Bhakta Vasala, yes. Karunanidhi, Krupa Sindhu, Deenabandhu, Jagatpati, और जगन्नाथा और गोपी जन वल्लभ. हाँ क्या? हाँ गिरिवरदारी. और कुछ है? So like that, Lord's name indicating his qualities, glorifying qualities, which destroy all sins. When we chant such kind of names of the Lord, they will destroy all the sins at the time of death. In order to help us remember you, who are unable to remember you, while stumbling, suffering hunger, falling down, yawning, or suffering calamity. See here, throughout our life, if we remember Lord's names indicating his wonderful qualities, they will destroy the sins during the lifetime. But they only come to rescue at the time of death. Not natural death, but death suddenly happens. Even what to speak of death, even if we chant while stumbling, while suffering hunger, while falling down, while yawning, or while suffering calamity, also we are purified of all contamination. So when we yawn, Krishna, something like that. So even when jumping, Krishna, something like that. So still those things will save one. Even if we have unsteady, dull minds, let us think of you, so that persons like us who cannot remember you, may remember you. May your names be available to us. Though we may not be able to remember you always, let our minds be attracted to your holy name and continuously remember you. The holy name indicating Lord's qualities. So like that. This is their another desire. The first desire is that let us be in the association of devotees so that we get to hear about you more and more. Second desire is that let your holy names be there on our tongue, which will purify us of all contamination. Especially when some of these things are happening, which are the causes of death. Let us remember your names. So remembering your name at the time of death means going back home back to Godhead. This is the desire of the Brahmanas. But now they say the desire of a king, because they are performing the entire sacrifice for the king. So for king they are telling. However, though we don't have any desire, however, this king, our king, desiring a son, is worshipping you. Bhavantam Ishwaram Upadavati, desiring a son, is worshipping you. Who can give all the benedictions such as Swarga or liberation. My dear Lord, you can award one Swarga or you can award one Apavarga. But still our king only has a small desire to have a son. Since he desires to have a son, exactly like you, not ordinary son. Bhavadrishim Prajam Ashashana. Our king wants a son who is exactly like you in all respects. That is the desire of our king. He is like a poor man pursuing a wealthy man for a few empty years. Dhanadam Adanaha Falikaranam Iva. Adana, a poor man. Dhanadam, approaching a wealthy person, asking for Falikaranam Iva, an insignificant thing. If they are making it so simple, the desire is very strong. It is not that desire is not a small thing. Our king just want a son, a small, simple son who is like you. Ashwattama Ataha Kunjarova Narova. Our king does not have big desires. He does. He's not educated. People worship you for Sarga, Rapavarga. He just want a small son like you. He is like a pure man who does not know what to ask from a wealthy person. He is only asking for an empty ask. The grains are removed. Whatever remains, that only is asking. The skin of the rice paddy, that's what he asks, which is thrown out as a waste product. So it is not a big thing, a small thing. For you, it is ऐसा. अब तो स्वर्गा पवर्गा इजीली दे देंगे. ये कितना है? ये कुछ काम का नहीं. He is not very intelligent. He does not know what to ask. So like that, they are kind of making it very simple, making it very general, so the Lord does not feel so heavy or something like that. However, though it is improper to ask, we ask you because it is necessary. This saintly king, the sponsor of the sacrifice, desires a son. Though he can get a son by worshipping devatas, but he worships only you to have a son. Within the bracket, exactly like you. Narova, Kunjarova. Not loudly, very slowly. So it's like that. This is the intelligence of the Brahmanas. But I will also give him Sarga liberation. Lord says that. Why are you asking for a small desire? I can give Sarga liberation. Please take. Fearing the Lord would say this. They say, though you are the Lord of Sarga and liberation, fulfiller of all desires, he is fixed on begetting a son, not on liberation. They say that he does not want liberation, he only want to have a son. That is his foolishness. Actually, it is an intelligent desire, but they are telling that, hey, unka foolishness, you don't know what to ask exactly. Even though you can award, you are ready to award Sarga and Apavaraga, but he simply says that I want to have a son only. His desire is very improper. Not improper, insignificant. My dear Lord, it is not a burdensome for you. Like that they are saying. Just as a man desiring some husk pursues a wealthy man, desiring a son, he worships you. See stubbornness. So they are making the desire of the king as very, 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 very insignificant, which is not supposed to be asked to the Lord. So like that. But still they are asking the Lord. This is the glory of this presentation, glory of the speech. So the Lord also will not feel they are asking that heavy desire, heavy इच्छा है करके ऐसा नहीं सोच रहे. You are free of Maya, but is there a person? But is there a person who does not worship the great devotees, whose intelligence is not covered by unconquerable and undesirable Maya, uh, undiscernible Maya, and whose nature is not covered by the force of material provision? So, my dear Lord, you are free of Maya, you are be transcendently situated, but we are under Maya. We will have always such kind of petty desires only. Please, don't find fault with us. That we have come to you, the greatest of all, greatest, and asking for a small petty thing which we should not have asked you. So, like that, I think. Because we are affected by Maya. But this is not his fault. एक याजक का fault नहीं. Whose intelligence is not covered by whose intelligence is not covered by Maya? Who are defeated by Maya? Whose ways are not discernible and which is unconquerable? My dear Lord, please tell me, who is not bewildered by Maya in this material world? That's why I don't know what to ask from you. उनका इच्छा तो बहुत insignificant है. Please ignore and fulfill it. Ignore the sense, don't consider the heavy desire. Don't treat it as a heavy thing. It is an ignorable, insignificant thing. ऐसा बाई हाथ का खेल है. It's like that. No one is free from Maya. He who worships the feet of great devotees is free from Maya. And this king has not had done this. This king has not had this opportunity. ये राजा को अभी तक वो opportunity नहीं मिला. See the words. He who worships the feet of great devotees is free from Maya. Now the king is worshipping these Brahmanas who are performing sacrifice. And Brahmanas are themselves saying that we are not great devotees. Though the king is worshipping us, who are not great devotees, as a result, king is not freed from Maya. If king had the opportunity to serve great devotees, who are your great devotees, then king would have been freed from Maya. Indirectly, that is that we are low, and since this king is worshipping us, he is also low. We both are low. So we don't know what to ask from you. Whatever little desire we have, please fulfill. They are begging from the Lord. So like that. And the last verse, they say, O performer of many actions, Adabra Kartur, O Lord of the Lords, Deva, you should tolerate the offense of persons like us, who are foolish and full of material desires, Arthadhyam, and who have called you to this sacrifice, since you are equal to all. Though you are equal to all, you have many things to do, but still we called you during this sacrifice in order to fulfill our insignificant desires. Please do not find fault with us. So like that, he is kind of praying for the consolation of the Lord. Asking pardon for their offense of asking for a material benediction, they conclude their praises of the Lord, O performer of many activities. O Lord, O performer of many wonderful activities, you are already always busy, but still we called you here for a pretty insignificant thing. Please forgive us. Don't find fault with us because we don't know what to ask, what not to ask. We are very insignificant. This means, though you rarely show yourself to Lord Brahma, you have shown yourself to us, who are full of desires, who are full of faults. This is your causeless mercy. But still, we called you for a small, insignificant thing. Kindly forgive us. Don't find fault with us for that. You should tolerate the offense of us priests, who have called you here because of our foolishness and material desires. Because, O Lord of the Lords, you are equal to all. Samyena. You have made your appearance here because you treat everyone equally. Just like Lord Rama treated Hanumanji, Jambavan, and also squirrel equally, because they are doing their service according to their capacity. So Lord Brahma, Lord Indra have big capacity. They'll call. Sometimes you don't appear in front of them. But we are doing a small thing according to a small capacity. Still you appeared. So like that. You are equal to all. So these are the few prayers which all the Brahmanas offered unto Supreme Lord, saying that we are neither devotees. We are trying to follow in the foot of devotees, even filled with material desires. So, but we don't have any desire on our own. We are happy to have your darshan, but our king has a small desire. He just want to have a small son like you. So with that desire, we performed this sacrifice and we called you. Please forgive us. We have called you for small thing, and please bless our king with a small child. So like that. Sukadeva Goswami says, the Supreme Lord, the protector of all the devatas, thus praised by prose, after being addressed by the king Nabhi. Matlab, the Brahmanas are speaking on behalf of Nabhi. So it's as good as Nabhi spoke. Who worshipped the Lord's feet, then spoke with compassion. Then Lord replied to the Brahmanas, to Nabhi. The Lord thus praised by prose, addressed by King Nabhi, whose feet were worshipped by him, and then spoke. What did the Lord reply? Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, O sages, I have been requested by you with words that must come true for a boon difficult to achieve. Their Lord is saying that all of you worshipped me with a request to fulfill a desire. According to them, that is an insignificant desire. But according to Lord, it is difficult to achieve. I said, is that difficult to fulfill? They were requesting the Lord that, sorry, we've called you for a small, insignificant desire. But Lord says, insignificant nahi, Baba, super significant. Simple nahi. Blank check could be like whole आस्ती, and उनका whole wealth, सब कुछ मिलेगा. उतना नंबर डालेगा तो उतना मिलेगा नहीं. हाँ बस. Why it is difficult to achieve? Because that King Nabhi have a son similar to me. Yad amushya atmaja maya sadrusho bhuyaditi. You want to have a son similar to me, that is a difficult thing. The same thing, Prishna Sutta also wanted to have a son who is similar to the Lord. Having a personality similar to the Lord is not easy. It's a difficult thing. Only I am similar to myself. मेरा जैसा कोई है ही नहीं, इसलिए it is difficult to fulfill your desire. Mama ham eva abhirupa. Since I alone am the Lord, Kaivalyad, there is no one equal to me. There is no one like me. So आपका इच्छा पूरा करना इतना सुलभ नहीं, easy नहीं. But the words of the Brahmana should not be false. Since this group of exalted Brahmanas is my mouth. The Brahmanas are like my mouth, the mouth of me. So whatever they say should not go in false. They should come true. Then the Brahmanas requested for a son who is like me, though it is very difficult to place, I will do it. Because the Brahmanas are words are always should become true. Because they are the mouth of the Supreme Lord. So they appeared from the mouth of the Virat Rupa. So in that way. Avitata Girbi means by words which cannot be untrue. The words of the Brahmanas cannot be untrue. That's why Brahmashap is very dangerous. When Brahmana says one curse, it will come true without much consideration. Abhirupa means similar. I alone am similar to myself, since I am the Lord and no one else is. There is no one equal to me. There is no one similar to me. There is one verse from Shvetadhara Upanishad which Prabhupada quotes again and again in the Bhagavad Gita. Natasya karyam. Huh? Huh? What is this? क्या चल रहा है? बख्शियाश्री एग्जाम वापस लिखना पड़ेगा. नतस्य कार्यम करणम च विद्यते. नतस साम्य अधिकंबु दृश्यते, अभ्यधिकंबु दृश्यते. Parasi Shakti Rudaya Suyade Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. The verse says that Natasya Karyam Karanam Cha Vidyate. There are no activities for my senses. Lord don't have to employ his senses to perform the activity. Just by glancing at Maya, he is creating all the universes. He has so many energies, they will do all the things for him. Natasya Karyam, he has no activity to perform. Karanam Cha Vidyate with the help of his senses. Natas, Samas, Cha, Abhyadikambu Drishyate. There is no one who is equal to him. There is no one who is superior to him. भगवान के सामने कोई superior नहीं, कोई equal भी नहीं. Everyone is inferior only. So it's like that. Since there is no one equal to me, I cannot tell someone else to become son of King Nabhi. I am only equal to myself, so I have to become son. This group of Brahmanas who are like the Devatas among the Brahmanas is my mouth. So their words cannot go wrong. Not finding anyone equal to me. Atma Tulyam na upalabhyamana. I will appear in my partial form for King Nabhi. Tata Amsha Kalaya Avatarishyami. Since there is no one equal to me, I cannot find anyone who is equal to me, who can be as son of, who can appear as the son of King Nabhi. I myself appear in my Amsha Kala form as his son. A partial expansion. I will manifest myself. So like that. Agnidreye means in the son of Agnidra. Nabhi. Then he says that Sukadeva Goswami says, Lord spoke and he became quiet. Then Sukadeva Goswami says, speaking thus to the husband of Meru Devi, who was listening, the Lord disappeared. Having said those words, saying that there is no one equal to me, though it is very difficult to fulfill, since Brahmana said so, I will fulfill that desire. And though it is very difficult to find someone who is equal to me, in order to fulfill that desire, I will make myself appear as the son of King Nabhi. Finally, O King Parishit, satisfied with the great sages, wanting to please King Nabhi and desiring to show the path of the naked performers of austerity. This is important. And desiring to show the path of the naked performers of austerity. Dharman Darshayitu Kama. Lord has a desire to show the Dharma. What kind of Dharma? Vata Rasanam Shrama Nanam. Vata Rasanam Ashramanam. So basically, what Vata Rasanam means what? Vata Rasananam, of the naked performers of austerity. Vata means wind, air. Vata Rasana means those who wear wind at their dress, the naked dress. In order to show the path of perfection by the naked sannyasis who perform severe austerities, show that Lord appeared as the King Nabhi, who follow scriptures and remain celibate. The Lord then appeared with a body of Shuddha Sattva in the womb of Mary Devi, who was situated in the inner chambers of palace. So, eventually, the Lord had two purposes to fulfill. One is to fulfill the desire of the Nabhi. A second one is to make sure the words of the Brahmanas are true. The third thing is, in order to show the path of perfection obtained by the naked performers of austerity. अभी बाद में आएगा. Lord Rsabhadeva appeared to show a particular sadhana which is followed by the austere people who practice austerity without wearing clothes. Digambaras. That's what Lord wanted to show in this world. In order to show that he appeared as Rsabhadeva. More details we'll get in the 5th chapter. 5th and 6th chapter. We get what exactly Lord is trying to do it. O Parikshit, the Lord appeared in Meru Devi, who remained in the inner chambers. He desired to show the principles of the naked mendicants. He desired to show the sadhana of the naked mendicants. What did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu do? मतलब क्या है? He showed how to practice संकीर्तन movement. अभी कोई एग्जाम्पल दिखाना चाहिए ना, बाकी लोग फॉलो करना है तो. Same way Rishabhdev showed the path of naked mendicants, so they follow afterwards. But children and fools are also naked. But छोटा बच्चे लोग कपड़ा पहनते नहीं. Even mad people also don't wear clothes. To qualify that, he says that they are the performers of austerities. They perform austerities. These naked sages, naked sadhus perform severe austerities. But atheists also perform austerities. To qualify this further, he says that they are sages. They are not atheists. They are actually the sages, acting with knowledge according to scriptures, according to Shastra, who do not fall from celibacy. These are not ordinary people. They are sages. They act according to knowledge, according to scriptures, and they do not go away from the celibacy. They continuously follow celibacy. So these are the attributes of those people. The Lord would appear with a body made up of Shuddha Sattva. His body is not a material body. His body is not a mad body, mad person's body. His body is Shuddha body, but still he displays the conduct of a naked mendicant, so that people will follow it in the future. These are the different purposes with which the Supreme Lord appeared as the son of King Nabhi and Meru Devi. It's like that. Any questions?
Meru Devi is
His wife name. His wife name.
daughter of
Meru.
Meru. So Meru.
Okay.
Because Meru mountain
Uh,
is how this.
there is a Meru mountain also. There is a king whose name is also Meru. The present deity of the Meru mountain.
So
Like Himalaya mountain is there. There is a Himalayan king is also there. He had two children, Ganga and Parvati. So like that.
Meru also came from Prajapati.
Yeah. He is also one of the Prajapati.
He is also Prajapati.
Yes.
Brahmanas are offering the prayers. Though they themselves are actually considered to be mixed devotees, but when the whole list of prayers ended, it seemed that they are actually Ananya Bhaktas.
Yeah, that's true. Ananya Bhaktas will never say they are Ananya Bhaktas. They always say we are lowest of all.
Yes.
That is the
And
principle.
similarly, when King Nabhi was actually performing, one of the verses says that Lord Vishnu is pleased in the purport events. Lord is actually pleased not by the sacrifice, but by the devotion of the King Nabhi. So, in essence, King Nabhi is also not having any motivation. He is also actually doing it the pure desire only.
But his desire is also not so material. He wanted to have the Lord as his son.
But in further purpose, Prabhupada also writes that even to desire a son who is like the Lord is
That is
also
the
a material.
That is the mood of the Acharyas. From the modern context point of view, these pastimes are happening long back in Satyayuga and all, Satya and Treta. That time, this desire, this is not a ordinary desire. But nowadays, many people might say that I also want to have a son like Krishna, Krishna like son, Kanaya, Kana. It is the now in Kali Yuga, people take it cheaply. That's why Prabhupada many times discourages that. Having any desire is a material desire. This is what we were having a discussion in one of the previous classes. See, you also think about it. I yesterday I replied, yesterday night I spoke verbatim. Later on she was confused and she wrote to me and she was asking, I was confused like that. I replied saying that I said Ananya Chintayantamam Ejana Paripasate Tesham Nityabhyuktanam Yogaksham Vahamyam. Ultimately, we are practicing our sadhana for what purpose? What is the ultimate goal of our sadhana bhakti? Asking you.
To serve the Lord. To serve the Lord, go back to God.
Huh?
Go back to God. Anya Bhakti says to serve the Lord.
Where you want to serve the Lord? In Girgaon Chowpatty or in Tirumala Hills?
For Ananya Bhakta, not for me, for Ananya Bhakta, irrespective of the place, he wants to serve the Lord. And if Vaikuntha is a place where seamlessly he can serve the Lord, so he wants spiritual growth.
Okay. Having read Bhagavad Gita while reading Bhagavatam, so what is your understanding that what kind of desire a devotee should have? A practicing devotee like you and me should have.
Inspiration.
Huh? Why? Why you want to go back to God?
Because we are sadhana. We will fall down in this material world because we are not reached the perfection. Those who reach the perfection are sadhana. They can serve anywhere and everywhere. For us, purification is required. Usually, they desire to go back to God because
who desires? I'm not asking they. I'm asking about you and me.
Yeah. Jiva.
Not Jiva. You and me.
You and me.
Sadhaka. Struggling sadhaka.
Go back to God.
Why? Why go back home? Why you don't want to stay here and preach?
That also we can do. But
हमारा प्रभु जी बोल रहे अनन्य भक्ता does not desire. He gives it up to Lord only. If you want me to stay here, I'll stay here. If you want me to come to spiritual, I'll come there.
He is on another level. No, I'm saying what Ananya Bhakta's definition is according to scriptures.
What Krishna's desire? What is Krishna's desire in Bhagavad Gita? What did Lord say in Bhagavad Gita? Does he say that stay here and preach, or does he say come home, come to spiritual abode?
While you are here and preach.
कैसे बोला क्या? किधर बोला?
18 chapter बोला, those who preaches this glory to this is very dear to me.
Then.
But those who discusses this.
Okay. Then. Did he ever say that come back to me, come back to spiritual world? He always says only those who preaches they are dear to me.
But those who worship me attend Mahabharata.
कहाँ लिखा?
9th chapter.
कौन सा वर्ष?
वो वाला श्लोक है.
Then बस एक ही श्लोक है, याद है क्या?
नहीं है. श्रद्धावम परमम.
So what? परमम में तो क्या करने का?
अभी एक इशारा दिखा रहे हैं तो समझ में नहीं चाहिए.
दम परमो नहीं, उसका पहला लाइन याद करो ना. यद गत्वा ना निवर्तन्ते. Time and again this concept comes in the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam also we are discussing about so many devotees. जो Bhagavatam का चल रहा है, क्या चल रहा है उधर? Where Pandavas are going? Why Parikshit Maharaj hearing Bhagavatam, and after hearing 7 days Bhagavatam, what happened to him? Where did Dhruva Maharaj go? Where did Prithu Maharaj go? Where did Pratyata go? Where did Swayambhu Manu? Of course, he's around, he will go. He has also gone. Priyavrat Maharaj, Uttanapad, कहाँ गए वो सब लोग? क्यों गया? इधर रहने का ना, प्रीचिंग करने का ना, पीछे रहने का ना, क्यों चले गए वापस तुरंत?
भगवान भेजेंगे तो वो करेंगे, जो ऐसा नहीं है.
हाँ.
लेकिन अपना डिजायर रहना चाहिए कि वहां पे जाने के बाद भगवान जो बोलेंगे वो करेंगे.
सो इधर रहने का, उधर जाने का वापस.
भगवान पे भी डिपेंड है.
आपका कुछ इच्छा नहीं रहते?
I desire is to go back home, back to God. Right?
हाँ.
When Krishna says no, you should be preaching.
कृष्णा.
ऐसा हो.
आप लोग स्पेशल सोर्स से आपको बताएंगे ऐसे.
नहीं हो सकता है प्रभु जी, मतलब हमारे साथ नहीं होगा, लेकिन ऐसा those who are pure devotees there, God sent them here to preach.
It's okay. As long as there is Shakti is there in the body, you can preach, no issue. But when the right time comes, one should desire to go back home, back to order, wind up all the activities here. I said that, but Mataji took it others way. ऐसा कैसे बोल सकते हैं हम तो preachers, some preaching movement, हम preaching करने का. We should not have any desire, even having a desire to go back to God is also a material desire. I just know Prabhu said, having a, no, you means the purport you are quoting. That having a desire to have a son also is a material desire.
That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's definition of Ananya Bhakti.
It's okay. Bhakti is bhakti only. Definition does not vary. So I mentioned that while living here, we have to do all the required things. We have to serve the deity, we have to take care of the devotees, we have to worship, we have to preach, we have to distribute Bhagavad Gita, all these things we have to do. But ultimately, at one day, we should neither have any material desire nor should have any spiritual desire. That I want to read Bhagavad Gita like this here. I want to preach Bhagavad Gita like this. I want to cultivate this number of devotees like this. I want to preach like this. That cannot be yours also. That should not be there. Or koi ichha nahi. Now I am done with all the activity that I am doing here, including deity worship. Now I want to serve you in person in your abode for the rest of eternity. That should be the desire. Then one will go back to Godhead. She felt bad. ऐसा कैसे बोल सकते हैं आप? We should not have the desire. We should only have one desire. My dear Lord, whatever you say, whatever you want, let it happen. सब भगवान के ऊपर छोड़ दिया. Of course, that is the mood of different people. Then I said that it is the mood of different acharyas, different Gurujan in our movement. They have different mood. They say that, okay, we should preach till the last breath. Preach. Okay, preach. No problem. But ultimately, at the time of death, one should desire to go back to God only. If we have desire to preach again, we'll remain here. Continue to preach in the next life, life or life. I did not say it is wrong, but Bhagavatam talks about going back to Godhead. So we need to respect it. So it's like that's what I replied yesterday night. अभी तक reply आया नहीं, देखते हैं reply क्या है. So I mean, that is my understanding. And in between I said, unfortunately, I have not been injected with that injection of the preaching. So I don't have that preaching temperament. So I cannot. Otherwise, all of you are injected with the temperament of preaching. So all of you are eager to preach. So now let us continue with chapter 4. The characteristics of Lord Rsabhadeva. Rsabhadeva already appeared for 3 purposes. One is to fulfill the desire of King Nabhi to become his son. Second is to fulfill the words of the Brahmanas are true. Third is to show the path of perfection of the naked mendicants. So, the 4th chapter describes how Lord Rsabhadeva produced 100 sons headed by Bharata and satisfied all the desires of the citizens. So, since Lord himself appeared as a king here, we will see his excellence in ruling over the subjects. He will establish a proper governance. Just like Prithu Maharaj established a proper governance, Rsabhadeva also established a proper governance. There are 19 verses. It talks about the qualities of Lord Rsabhadeva. Then Nabhi's Vasalya Rasa and renunciation, Lord Rsabhadeva's children, Lord Rsabhadeva's exemplary character, etc. So Sukadeva Goswami continuing, he says that the ministers, citizens, Brahmanas, and Devatas greatly desired that this son who displayed the qualities of the Supreme Lord when he was born, who increased day by day in great qualities, powers, detachment, sense control, and equal vision, rule the earth. So, of course, in that Yajna, when the Yajna was going on, king was there, Brahmanas were there, the assembled people were there, and Lord appeared, Lord gave darshan. They said, please forgive us, we called for a petty desire. But whatever it is, in any case, please fulfill the desire of our king. What's meeting? So, etc. So, but Lord appeared in an auspicious moment. They make birth chart. The birth chart is read in front of everyone. Everyone understood that this personality is not ordinary person. He is like God himself. Something like that. Everyone heard about it. And eventually the child is growing day by day. They could see his godly qualities. What are the good qualities he has? He had so many great qualities: power, detachment, sense control, equal vision. And they all desired that may he become our king. Father is also religious, but son is so religious that they said, "Nee, become our king." So like that. Jagrutu means they desired. Because of his excellent body, praised by many poets, Lord's appearance is so excellent. His mental and physical strength, his beauty, fame, influence, and courage. His father called him as Rishabha. Among all the forest animals, the most powerful animal is lion. That's why king is compared to a lion. Simha Swapna. Something like that. And among all the domestic animals, the powerful animal is huh? Bull Baba. Dog is a powerful animal. है. अभी मेरा जैसे डरता है लगता है. हाँ डोमेस्टिक बोलेगा तो क्या?
गांव के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में नहीं बोला, हमने विलेज के शहर के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बोला.
Sorry, Prabhu. We are from village. We are from village. You are from city. We can't understand you. Please forgive us. Among the all variety of village animals, household animals, the bull is the powerful animal. When somebody is supposed to be glorified, they are compared to a bull. Rishabha, Lord Rsabhadeva. Purusha Rsabha is like Rishabha among the Purushas, among the humans. So like that. The word Varshmana is modified by Variyasa and Buras Logena. Virya means influence and Shaurya means fortitude. Different attributes are mentioned. Ojasa, Balena, Shriya, Yashasa, Virya, Saurabhyam. So in all Variyasa, Buras Logena, like all these different attributes that Lord Vrishabhadeva possessed. Then what happened? Powerful Indra in envy stopped the rain from falling on the earth. Lord Rsabhadeva glories are sung all over the world. His glories were sung in the Indra Sabha. So in front of Indra, Lord Rishabha's glories are spoken. And Indra was thinking that he is a normal human being only. Why his glories are sung so much? He became envious. ऐसा कैसा? मेरा glory से ऊपर glory जा रहा है इनका glories. He stopped rains for 12 years, not 1 year or 2 years. 12 years. 12 years akal. Understanding this, Rishabhadeva, master of yoga, Yogeshwara, smiled and produced rain and his state named Ajnaba by his power of yoga. When Nabhi was ruling the province, it was known as Nabhi Varsha. After Nabhi, when Rishabhadeva became the king, it became known as Ajnaba Varsha. Aja means the unborn lord, appeared as the son of Nabhi. So another name of Rishabhadeva is Ajnaba. Since he is ruling this province, it became known as Ajnaba Varsha. So in the entire Ajnaba Varsha, there was no rain for 12 years. People complained to Lord, the king. The king understood what happened. Indra is out becoming envious of me. He stopped rains. So you think you only can produce rains? I can also produce rains. Lord, by his own mystic potency, produced rains and then became evergreen as before. The country was called Ajnaba after Rishabhadeva and his father King Nabhi. So in the
So like Rishabhadeva was Yogeshwara. So he can produce rain. So if ordinary yogi, if he attain the perfection, he can also do it.
Obviously, why not? Rain, producing rain is a simple thing. It can bring the rain, not issue.
So when yogi attain perfection, 8 mystic yoga. So they are not under the influence of demigods. Are they?
Not necessarily. Perfection मिल गया तो अभी they are beyond 3 modes of material nature. Then what to speak of devatas? Devatas are also under 3 modes only. Na? Their activities are also under the purview of 3 modes only under Sattva. So when one comes to samadhi, one is already crossed beyond the 3 modes of mental nature, or the pinnacle of 3 modes. Then he is superior. He is above the control of 3 modes.
There can be some yogis who are not beyond the 3 modes.
They can be within. They can
attain
also
all the
possess.
Ashtasiddhis.
They can also attain Ashtasiddhis. And their ability to display the Ashtasiddhis also, there could be some limitation. It's not that somebody has Ashtasiddhis means it is unlimitedly available. They also different gradation. Somebody passed 10th class. They have different variety of knowledge, understanding. सब लोग pass हो गया, but in a basic understanding he has. Somebody else has little more understanding, supreme understanding. So it's like that. Same way, they also have Ashtasiddhis. One can do Ashtasiddhi this much. For example, rain production only. One can produce rain only 1000 liters, not more than that. But other person can produce 1 crore liters. Other person can create tsunami only. Other person can destroy the entire universe. तो उसमें भी ग्रेडेशन रहता है according to their capacity. Having attained his desire for an excellent son, overwhelmed with great joy, thinking of the Supreme Lord, who accepted the ways of an ordinary human as his son, King Nabhi, addressed him with faltering words as his son, and raising him with affection, attained great bliss. Having the Supreme Lord as his own son, the happiness of Nabhi has no bounds. He was so happy that I just wanted to have a son like the Lord. I never wanted Lord to be my son. But Lord only said that there is no one equal to me, no one like me. So I will only appear as your son. Then what kind of happiness Nabhi must have been experiencing? So his happiness has no bounds. Avarudhya means attaining. He thought of the Lord as his son. Maya vilasita mati. Maya can mean illusion or intelligence according to Amarkosha Trikanda Shesha, Amarkosha dictionary. Then King Nabhi, who took into consideration the opinion of the population, because the people said that we want him to be our king. My dear king, you are good, but your son is best. We want your son to be our king. So considering the opinion of the people and ministers, enthroned his son, for whom the citizens had affection, by entrusting him to the Brahmanas in order to protect the law of proper conduct. So Nabhi made Rsabhadeva the next king and gave the responsibility of taking care of his son to the Brahmanas. Because it is Brahmanas who are also great devotees. By their worship only he had darshan of the Lord, he had Lord as his son. So he had complete faith in the Brahmanas. And he gave the complete responsibility to the Brahmanas. Please take care of my son and also the kingdom, because I am going to forest. Nabhi, along with Meru Devi, then worshipped the Lord in the form of Naranarayana in Badrikashrama by austerities and concentration. That means he and his wife went to Himalayas. There they continued to perform severe austerities and continue to worship Lord Naranarayana, because Naranarayana are the present deities of Himalayas. They stay in the Himalayas. The Badrinath, whatever we say, is actually Naranarayana, the form of Naranarayana. Badrinath is Naranarayana. In Badrikashrama, by austerities and concentration, which were capable of attaining results for happiness of all beings, in time he attained Vaikunta, the glory of the Lord. Eventually, he went back to Lord Godhead. He could have stayed back and preached, na? Huh? That means no, it is not that. As long as he was king, he provided proper facilities for the people to practice sadhana and go back to Godhead. He did. उनके लिए एक टाइम है, वो टाइम तक किया. उसके बाद अभी मेरा टाइम हो गया, इधर रहने का जरूरत नहीं. Now somebody else will do the needful. I am going back to Godhead. And they will do according to their time lifespan. And after they will go back to Godhead, the next generation will take care of preaching. Preaching means taking care of that, providing the necessary facilities for the people to practice bhakti. That is the duty of king. From that point of view, that is the preaching. From their point of view, the preaching is to provide proper facilities so that everyone will practice bhakti. The varna system should be intact, should be protected time and again from falling down. That is preaching in those days. So in that way. Apaura Prakriti Janapada means Nabhi, who took everyone from the population up to the ministers into consideration for enthroning his son. He did not make his son as the king out of affection, familial affection. No. He took the opinion of each and every personality in the citizen, in the kingdom, and every minister, every Brahmana. With the approval of everyone, he made him the king. This is the bona fide way. How did Dhritarashtra made Duryodhana? On his own way. Even though his ministers are telling no, but still he said no. Mere baad mera son hi raja banna chahiye. So
Ministers also advised him. No,
Vidura always advising him only. From the birth only said, इनको छोड़ दो, इनको फेंक दो. ये आएगा तो कुलनाश बन जाएगा. कुल को नष्ट करेगा. पूरा कुरुकुल नष्ट हो जाएगा. तभी बोला उनको. बार बार रिमाइंड करते थे उनको. But he would never listen. Dhritarashtra would never listen. महाभारत पढ़ा नहीं ठीक से. कि कब? थोड़ा सा नहीं क्या? पूरा ठीक से पढ़ना चाहिए. He enthroned his son of whom the people had great affection in order to protect the law of good conduct. Samaya Setu. Samaya Setu. You see, he enthroned his son for whom the people had great affection in order to protect the laws of good conduct. Samaya Setu. What is the purpose of Setu? Crossover from where to where?
From one side of the ocean to the other side.
One side of the water body to other side of the body. That is the purpose of Setu. And that's the Setu that a king constructs. The Setu that Lord Rishabhadeva is going to construct is that Setu which will take one from material world to the spiritual world. In between, Samsara Sagara is there. To cross that Samsara Sagara, they will they will establish the proper conduct, code of conduct, proper Varnashrama principles they will establish, practicing which people will go back home to Godhead. That is the principal duty of a king. That is the prime duty of a leader. इसके अलावा क्या करेंगे? इसके अलावा कुछ भी करो कुछ फायदा नहीं. ये मेन ड्यूटी है. They should provide a setu following which, walking on which, one will go back home back to Godhead. That is the prime duty of a king. That is the prime duty of a leader. And that will be the prime duty of a head of the family. That is the duty of a husband. That is the duty of a parent. The next chapter it will come. It will be elaborate on that. When somebody take the responsibility of some subordinate, the ultimate end of that responsibility is to construct the setu, following which they will go back to Godhead. Otherwise, Andha Yatande Rupagiya Mana, a blind man leading other blind men to the blind well. So it's like that. Nabhi worshipped the Lord in Badrikashram with austerities capable of bringing the results for the happiness of all beings. Then eventually attained Vaikuntha. Nabhi and Merudevi both went back to Godhead. So it's like that.
Whenever the descriptions are given,
Order.
whenever the descriptions are given in the Bhagavatam, that the personalities have gone back to Vaikuntha, is it referring to the Vaikuntha which is there in this universe, or the Vaikuntha beyond the literal coverings?
According to Sri Vaishnava principle, Dhruva Maharaj is different. That is a different thing. But otherwise, according to Sri Vaishnavas, when they go to Vaikuntha in this material world as of now, they will be there serving Lord Vishnu in person till the end of the current day of Brahma. At the end of the current day of Brahma, Lord Vishnu will take all of them to Paravyama, into the spiritual world. But this Vaikuntha is also as good as the spirit Paravyama only. It is not different from that. But they will continue to serve the Lord here till the end of the current day, according to Sri Vaishnava philosophy. According to our understanding, in that, they'll be taken to some other universe where Lord is performing pastimes. They'll be given induction training there. And afterwards, from there, when Lord winds a pastime there, then they'll go back to Golokgrantha and the spiritual world. That is Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding. But in either case,
It is the
same. There is some induction program, then they'll go back to Godhead.
But in Shri Vaishnava, they will directly go back to
Where?
Shri Vaishnava. Understood?
वही बोल रहा हूँ ना. In our universe also there are a couple of Vaikunthas. There also Lord is there. So devotees will go there. They serve the Lord there. At the end of the day of Brahma, Lord will take them to Paravyama. Okay?
In one sense, both are same.
Both are same.
In terms of the effects or in terms of
Ah.
the experiences.
The same Vaikuntha is manifested here. It is as good as in Vaikuntha only. But sometimes they'll be here serving the Lord, assisting the Lord in his pastimes. So in that way, we see them coming again and again as different devotees. Ultimately, the purpose is to inspire all of us to take us back to Godhead. Whether Lord comes in different avatars or devotees come in the form of different acharyas, whether scriptures will come in different forms, ultimate purpose is to inspire us to go back to Godhead. And sometimes they will be here only, coming and going, coming and going, coming and going to inspire more and more people. At one fine day, they'll go back. Whoever came, taking them, they'll go back to Godhead. In the next day of Brahma, somebody else will do the needful. So like that. Some other acharyas will come and do the needful. उनको ये बार बार आने की जरूरत नहीं, बट ये दिन में बार बार आएगा, आके लेके जाएंगे.
तो ये दिन के बाद चले जाते हैं आफ्टर वन डे और लाइफ टाइम ऑफ ब्रह्मा.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day of Brahma.
लाइफ टाइम बहुत बड़ा हो गया.
बड़ा हो गया. Some people stay for the entire lifetime here. Like Narada Muni, 4 Kumaras, or the Nava 9 Manasaputras of Brahma, they all stay here the entire lifetime of Brahma. Their seva is to give the knowledge about all these things for the entire lifespan of Brahma. Atri, Pula, Kratu, Vashishta, their lifespan is like that of Brahma only. They are here to help us understand what to do, what not to do throughout the entire life of Brahma. Then they will go back along with all the conditioned souls. We are ready to go back to Godhead. Some of them stay for the entire lifespan of Brahma. Some stay for day of Brahma. So it's like that. How long you want to stay? O King Parikshit, the citizens recited verses in praise of Nabhi. What man could follow King Nabhi, for whom the Lord became his son by execution of pure bhakti? Nabhi is so great that Lord himself became his son. Who can be like Nabhi? So these are the glorification of Nabhi. Just like in the first chapter, we have some verses glorification of Priyavrata. Here a couple of verses are in the glorification of Nabhi. Then the next glorification is, who other than King Nabhi was affectionate to the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas, pleased with his charity, revealed to him the Lord by the power of their bhakti during the sacrifice. King Nabhi is so great that he is so wonderful devotee that Lord himself became his son, and he is so surrendered to the Brahmanas that Brahmanas, by the power of their bhakti, showed the Lord to him. Because it is the Brahmanas who performed the yajna. He was only sponsoring. And by the wonderful execution of their sacrifice, Lord made his appearance and accepted their prayers and fulfilled their desire. It is Brahmana said so, that our king wanted to have a son similar to you. And Lord said, your words cannot go wrong. In order to show that your words are true, I will appear the son of King Nabhi. And such kind of great Brahmanas are pleased by this King Nabhi, who can do such kind of wonderful activity. This is the glory of King Nabhi. So like that. The Brahmanas were pleased by his donations and other acts, so that the auspiciousness was created. Or they were worshipped by auspiciousness, since the king was a devotee. By the power of bhakti, they revealed the Lord to him. Of course, donations word is used, but not only donations. The king was so subservient to the Brahmanas, he followed them at every instant. So Brahmanas are so pleased with him. So they revealed him the Lord. In that way. These are the wonderful qualities of the Brahmanas. Then Lord Rsabhadeva's qualities are mentioned, and his marriage and children are mentioned in the next verses. Lord Rsabhadeva, knowing his kingdom to be the place to perform karma, he considered Ajnaba Varsha to be karma kshetram. It is a place to perform karma. That means it is a place to perform varnashram duties. If not for oneself, but to a certain example. What was the verse from Bhagavad Gita? श्लोका पूछा, ट्रांसलेशन नहीं. हाँ हाँ, उसका अगला वर्स, नेक्स्ट वर्स.
have any?
No, no translation. Only verse in Sanskrit.
Before
उसके बाद I think. नमां कर्माणि लिम्पन्ति नमे कर्म फले स्पृहा इदियो माम योपि जानाति कर्मभिर्न सबध्यते. Chaturvarna maya system guna karma vibhagasha. I have established the varna system according to one's guna or karma. Mamavartmanu vartante manusya par sarvaja. And by undertaking the varna duties, all follow me in my footsteps. Somebody said, but varna duties bind us. Then Lord said that namang karmani limpanti name karma phalaspraha. Namang karmani limpanti. I also perform varna duties, but none of the duties bind me because name karma phalaspraha. While performing the duties, I don't focus on enjoying the results. I perform all the duties for the welfare of the society. The results are not meant for my enjoyment, but they are meant for welfare of the society. Those who know this, that I perform all the duties according to Varna and Ashrama, only for the welfare of the society, those who know this will also do that in that way. And such kind of people are never bound by karma. Karma bir nasapadate. Itiyo mam abhijanati karma bir nasapadate. That is the principle. And Lord Rishabha understanding this place is karma kshetra, karma bhumi. Later on in the 17th chapter, we'll understand more about this, why it is so. So, knowing is kingdom to the place of performing karma, place to perform karma, lived in the Gurukul to show others that they should also do this. As a child, he went to Gurukul. He studied very nicely, following all the instructions of Guru to establish an ideal example of student as a brahmachari. In the brahmachari ashram, he established ideal example of brahmachari. Then returned from Gurukul. Taking the permission of his teachers, who received gifts after paying Guru Dakshina, he then taught the path of household life and engaged in activities according to Shruti and Smriti. He paid Guru Dakshina, came home, got married, performed all the household duties according to Shruti and Smriti in order to establish a good example of Grihastha. Practiced as instructed by the Brahmanas. He followed everything as instructed by the Brahmanas because father gave his responsibility to the Brahmanas. He followed the instructions of his father, instructions of all the Brahmanas very nicely. Established ideal example of a Grihastha. He begot in his wife Jayanti, given by Indra, 100 sons similar to himself. Previously, what happened? When Indra heard the glories of Lord Rsabhadeva, he became insecure. He stopped his reign. He wanted to test Lord for 12 years. And Lord, by his mystic potency, revealed the rains. Rains came and everything became prosperous. Indra understood. I played with the fire. He came down to beg forgiveness. He fell flat, begged forgiveness. In order to pacify the Lord, he offered his own daughter in marriage to Lord Rsabhadeva. Jayanti was the daughter of Indra. She was given in marriage to Lord Rsabhadeva. And Lord married her, accepting Indra's gift. And eventually, he begot 100 children through her, who are like the Lord himself, who are also as exalted as the Supreme Lord. That is also one of the important duty of the householder. Begetting children, begetting more children, begetting more obedient children, begetting more obedient children who will be like the father who will serve the Lord. That was the instruction of the Supreme Lord to Brahma. In one Bhagavatam class we discussed. So it's like that. Anumanya Mana means knowing. He showed others that they should accept Gurukula life. Lord Rsabhadeva showed that everyone should go to Gurukula and study nicely. He taught Dharma after taking permission from teachers who received gifts, performing karma of the Shruti and Smriti, Ubaya Lakshanam. He practiced as instructed by the Brahmanas. Medini says, Amnaya means scriptures and teachings. Basically, he set an ideal example of a brahmachari and a grihastha by doing everything supposed to be done as per the scriptures. Among his sons, Bharata, the eldest, was a great yogi, having excellent qualities. Because of him, this Ajnava Varsha later on became known as Bharata Varsha. As long as Nabhi was ruling, it was known as Nabhi Varsha. When Rsabhadeva was ruling, it was known as Ajnava Varsha. Later on, after Rsabhadeva, when Bharata Maharaj began to rule over that land, That land became known as Bharatavarsha. These three are great personalities, so their names are glorified. Younger than Bharata, but older than the others, were the sons named Kushavarta, Ilavarta, Brahmavarta, Malaya, Ketu, Bhadrasena, Indraspuk, Vidarbha, and Kekata. Rishabhadeva had 100 sons, na? The eldest is Bharata. After him, these are the 9 younger brothers. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Their names are Kushavarta, Ilavarta, Brahmavarta, Malaya, Ketu, Bhadrasena, Indraspuk, Vidarbha, and Kekata. Younger than Bharata were 9 sons, older than the other 90 sons. So in Canto 11, chapter 2, text number 19 says that Tesham Nava Navadvipa Patayo Asya Samantata. The 9 of the remaining sons of Lord Rsabhadeva became the rulers of the 9 islands of Bharatavarsha, and they exercised complete sovereignty over Bharatavarsha. So the tract of land given to Nabhi was known as Nabhi Varsha. Later on it became known as Ajnaba Varsha. Later on it became known as Bharatavarsha. So in Bharatavarsha there are 9 islands, and these 9 islands are ruled by the 9 younger brothers of Bharat Maharaj. Kushavarta, Ilavarta, Brahmavarta, Malaya, Ketu, Bhadrasena, Indraspuk, Vidarbha, and Kekata.
It is the same Jambudvipa.
Now within Jambudvipa there are 9 Varshas. Agnidra had 9 sons, na? Of the 9 sons, the eldest one is Nabhi. Nabhi was given one portion in Jambudvipa, one of the 9 divisions, and that is known as that time Nabhi Varsha. Later on, when Rishabhadeva was ruling, it became known as Ajnaba Varsha. Eventually, Bharata Maharaj will rule. When he rules, it will be known as Bharata Varsha. But while he is ruling, in Bharata Varsha, there are 9 islands. It is a combination of like islands, different islands. Andaman, Nicobar Island, Maldives, they are like combination of multiple islands. Na? They are all called as one country. So multiple islands are there, they are called one. Just like India. In India, we have so many states. All states put together, it is called as India only, or Bangladesh. So, like that. He is like the Prime Minister for the entire Bharatavarsha, and they are individually locally governing, the local kings and the monarch. So, like that.
So the Jambudvipa is like this. And in that Jambudvipa, one of the islands,
One of the Varsha.
one of the Varshas. Varsha means it's a tract of land.
A tract of land located at the foothill of a mountain. It is a land adjacent to a mountain. Okay, in that land, there are 9 islands. Okay. And 9 islands are independently ruled by 9 younger brothers. But Bharata Maharaj is the overall ruler. He's like the Prime Minister, and they are like the chief ministers, local ministers. So like that. We'll discuss more about these things in the 19th chapter. 19th chapter, I'll show you some pictures, how they exactly they are divided. We'll conclude with 13th verse. Just we'll close next one verse. In addition to these sons were, first one is Bharata. Then the next 9 sons who are like ruling the 9 islands and reporting to elder brother. And afterward, there are 9 more sons. Who are they? Kavi, Havi, Antariksha, Prabuddha, Pipalayana, Avihotra, Drumila, Chamasa, and Karabhajana, who are all very exalted, advanced devotees. I shall hereafter describe the characteristics of these 9 devotees in the conversation between Narada and Vasudeva in the 11th canto, which is filled with the glories of the Lord and satisfy the mind. Sukadeva Goswami later in the 11th canto will speak about the activities and wonderful qualities and characters of these 9 Paramahamsa Sannyasis. They are called Nava Yogendras. These were the 9 following sons of Lord Rsabhadeva. First Bharata, then 9 younger brothers, then 9 younger brothers who are Nava Yogendras, 9 Paramahamsa Sannyasis. Sukadeva Goswami said that in the future, later on I'll speak to you about them in the Vasudeva Narada Samvad, which will come in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam. That is telling now only. Later on I'll speak about these people. ये 9 के बारे में बाद में बात करूंगा वसुदेव नारद का संवाद में. Uparishtat means later in the 11th canto. In 11 to 20 says that the 9 remaining sons of Rishabha, greatly fortunate sages, discerning the highest truth and endeavoring for Paramatma, were learned concerning Paramatma They wander about naked. They are also naked sadhus. The Navayogins also don't wear any clothes. उनका family में ऐसा कुछ तो है. उनका father भी eventually later on when he becomes mendicant, he will not wear clothes. उनका 9 sons also they don't wear clothes. They were discerners of the highest truth, making great endeavor for realizing Atma, and were naked. Vata rasana means naked. They were wearing the ether all around. Vata means not ether, air. They have the clothes, air only. Finally, the 81 younger sons of Jayanti, who followed the order of their father, were humble, learned, and dedicated to the performance of sacrifice. They were very pure in their activities. Thus, they became perfectly qualified Brahmanas. The remaining 81 sons of Lord Rishabh, they became perfect Brahmanas. Brahma Janati iti Brahmana.
Here, this is an example where from a Kshatriya, the Brahmanas have actually.
Brahmanas and Parama sannyasis were born. So, in that way. Mahashalina means they were very humble and well behaved. Canto 11, chapter 2, text number 19 says that Karma Tantra Pranetara Ekashtir Vijataya. 81 sons became the Brahmanas and helped initiate the Vedic path of karma. They became expert at performing all the Vedic rituals. Among the 100 sons of Lord Rsabhadeva, 9 became rulers of the 9 lands, such as Brahma Varta within Bharata Varsha. 81 sons became Brahmanas, who started the path of karma. Eldest among them all is Bharata. The 9 remaining sons of Lord Rsabhadeva were the greatly fortunate sages, generally known as Nava Yogindras. So 11 to 22 23. This is 19, this is 20, this is 21 to 23. Says that these sages wandered the earth while seeing the entire universe with all its gross and subtle objects as a manifestation of the Supreme Lord and as non-different from Paramatma. They are all liberated souls who travel unchecked to the abodes of the Devatas, Siddhas, Sadhyas, Gandharvas, Yakshas, humans, Kinnaras, serpents, Charanas, ghosts, Vidyadharas, okay, Vidya, and the Brahmanas and the cows. Basically, these Navayogindras are like Nardamuni only. They can travel anywhere they want. They are not checked anywhere. They can travel everywhere. And they are like Vata Rasana, like the 4 Kumaras. They don't wear any clothes like 4 Kumaras. They are on par with Narada Muni and the 4 Kumaras. So this is about the family of Lord Rishabhdev. He married Jayanti, given by Indra, Indra's own daughter, and begot 100 sons. The wonderful, the later activities of the 100 sons are briefly mentioned here. This is the great conduct and wonderful activities of Rishabhdev. The later on next section, we will discuss more about his exemplary character. So in that we'll discuss tomorrow. We'll continue from there on. Yes, bro.
I don't know. Shila Prabhupada writes
Louder.
Lord Rishabhdev begot 100 sons.
Yes.
So were they like already liberated? They must be devotees.
Huh.
Even they were like Nitya Siddhas.
Why?
That's a question I have.
See. Is Dhruva the Nitya Siddha or Sadhana Siddha? Dhruva Maharaj, Sadhana Siddha. Purtu?
He's a Nitya Siddha. He's a Ashakta Vaishya.
But still he performed everything, na?
That is the location. Set an example.
Hare Krishna. All of you are expert preachers. You have answer for every question.
No, we are
So-
trying to
These people are also, for our benefit, we should take them as Sadhana Siddhas. For our benefit, they are born in a devotee family and they practice so nicely. They have become exalted personalities like Bharat Maharaj, whose name is still we are using to call this entire area Bharata Varsha. And is Nava Yogendras. They are so great that even we are hearing from Bhagavatam their glories, their wonderful activity, their teachings, etc. etc. So they are Sadhana Siddhas and they became excellent devotees. That will help us to take their lessons seriously in our life. Whether they are Nisiddhas or not, we don't know. If they are Nisiddhas, it might have been mentioned. It is not mentioned means they are Sadhisiddhas. They endeavored a lot following the father. Father, even though he Lord himself, he went to Gurukul, he studied, he followed Guru, he did everything to set a good example. Who will follow his father's example first? Sons only. Then the remaining people will follow. So sons followed the example. They also endeavored like their father, and they excelled their life in their practice. Like that we should see. Even this is also when it comes to this material world, he will endeavor the way Sadhana Siddha endeavors. He will never show to the people that I'm already in Siddha, I don't have to do anything, not like that. He executes everything diligently. So in that way.
Can you go to the school?
Matlab?
When Siddha comes, sometimes you can actually easily show it without the
Yeah, sometimes like Jadabharata, he did not do any activities in that sense. Because he already went through 2 lives. As a deer, he practiced severe austerities. But when he appeared in the Brahmana family, he did not do any of those things. He did not want to make any mistake. So both Bharat Maharaj performed so much, and deer also performed so much. With तीसरा बार भी क्या करेंगे अभी बहुत हो गए. He only taught. Some exceptions are there, but in generally they endeavor to set a ideal example. So like that. Hare Krishna will stop here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की जय.